Have you ever been fast asleep, only to be jolted awake by that sharp, sudden pain in your leg? That cramp that grabs hold of your calf like a vice, twisting and pulling until you're left gasping in the dark, gripping the edge of the bed, waiting for it to let go? And when it finally does, you're left wide awake, heart racing, legs sore, wondering, why does this keep happening? Or maybe it's not just the cramps. Maybe it's that feeling when you get up from your chair and your legs just hesitate. They don't move like they used to. They feel heavy, unsteady, like your body's betrayed you, just a little more each day. You used to walk across the kitchen without even thinking. Now, sometimes you stop halfway and wonder, why do my legs feel like jelly? And the worst part? People just chalk it up to age. Oh, you're just getting older, they say. But deep down, you know something doesn't feel right. What if I told you that what you're feeling might not be age at all? What if there's a missing piece, one simple vitamin, that your body has quietly run low on? And without enough of it, your muscles cramp, your nerves misfire, and your legs slowly lose their strength. Not because you're weak, but because no one told you that this one thing could make all the difference. Sounds too simple, doesn't it? But stay with me. Because today, I want to show you how something so small, something most people overlook, might be exactly what your legs have been begging for. And the best part? You won't need pricey pills or complicated routines. Just a bit of knowledge, and a few small changes that could restore the strength you thought was gone for good. In this video, I'll reveal the name of the powerful vitamin that's helping thousands of seniors stop painful leg cramps, boost circulation, and walk with more confidence, like they're 41 again. And I'll show you how to start using it right away. Through foods you already know, and habits that truly support your aging body, not work against it. So don't go anywhere. Because this might just be the most important 10 minutes you've spent on your health in a long time. Now, before we dive in, do me a little favor. If you've ever had one of those middle-of-the-night leg spasms, where it feels like your muscle is being twisted by a wrench, comment below right now, no more cramps. I want to hear from you, because you're not alone in this. And if you care about your strength, your balance, and staying independent as the years go by, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Here on Elderly Wisdom Guide, we bring you the truth about aging well, without fear, without fluff. Just real talk, for real people, who deserve to live fully, even after 60. Now, let's talk about the vitamin your legs have been begging you for. Let me tell you about Harold. Harold's 72, a retired mailman, always been active. He used to walk every morning, rain or shine. Said it kept his knees loose and his mind clear. But about a year ago, he stopped. Not because he wanted to. Because he couldn't. Every time he took more than a few steps, this tight, seizing pain would shoot up his leg, like someone was twisting his muscle from the inside. His calves would cramp so hard, he'd have to sit down and wait it out. It happened at night too. Sudden spasms that would jolt him from sleep, clutching at the sheets, waiting for the pain to ease. He went to the doctor. Got the usual answer. Harold, you're getting older. Cramps come with the territory. But Harold didn't buy it. Not entirely. Something just didn't feel right. He hadn't changed his diet much. He was still drinking plenty of water. He wasn't overdoing it physically. And yet, his legs were betraying him. Finally, one doctor ran a more thorough blood test. And the results? Harold's magnesium levels were way below normal. No one had checked before. No one had even mentioned it. But there it was, in black and white. Magnesium. Now I know, it's not the flashiest vitamin. You don't see it on big TV ads. You don't hear it talked about at family dinners. But let me tell you, this one little mineral might just be the most important thing your legs are asking for. You see, magnesium is essential for your muscles to work properly. It tells them when to contract. And just as importantly, when to relax. Without enough magnesium in your system, your muscles start misfiring. They tense up when they shouldn't. They spasm. They cramp. They get tired more easily. And over time, you start to lose the confidence to walk, to stretch, to even sleep without fear of pain waking you up. It's not just muscles, either. Your nerves rely on magnesium too. The communication between your brain and your muscles. The thing that allows you to move smoothly and without hesitation, that's magnesium at work. And here's the part that nobody warns you about. As you age, your magnesium levels start to drop. Not just from eating less, but because of things like blood pressure medication, water pills, changes in digestion, and even kidney function. The very things we use to manage other health issues quietly drain the magnesium from our bodies. And when that reserve gets too low, your body starts to talk back. Leg cramps. Muscle twitches. That heavy, dragging feeling when you try to lift your foot. That loss of balance that seems to come out of nowhere. It's your body's way of waving a red flag. Now, let's talk about the myths. How many times have you been told to just drink more water when you cramp up? Hydration is important, yes, but water alone won't fix a magnesium deficiency. In fact, drinking too much water without enough minerals can actually flush the magnesium out of your system even faster. Others think, oh, it's just my age. Nothing I can do. But that's not true. This isn't just age, it's imbalance. An imbalance can be fixed. So, what can you do? First, look to your plate. Magnesium is hiding in some everyday foods, foods you might already enjoy. Pumpkin seeds. Spinach. Almonds. Black beans. Even a small square of dark chocolate can offer a helpful dose. Try including just one of those every day. It's a gentle way to nudge your magnesium levels back to where they need to be. And if you're taking a diuretic or certain medications that deplete magnesium, talk to your doctor. They may suggest a magnesium supplement, but only after checking your levels. Because too much magnesium can also throw things off. It's about balance, not extremes. And here's the best part about Harold. 2 weeks. That's all it took. 2 weeks of shifting his meals, getting his magnesium up, and he was back on the walking path. Not sprinting. Not climbing mountains. Just walking again, with confidence, with strength, and without fear of the next cramp. He even called it a second wind. Now, magnesium is a powerful ally. But it doesn't work alone. In fact, there's another key player, one that helps your body use magnesium more effectively, and without it, even the best foods and supplements won't reach their full potential. Let me introduce you to Margaret. She's 68, a retired schoolteacher, the kind who used to walk around the classroom all day, keeping 33rd graders in check with just a look and a kind word. But over the past year, Margaret noticed something wasn't right. She started having trouble standing up from her favorite chair. Her legs felt weak, not sore, not painful exactly, just unreliable. She'd take a few steps and feel wobbly, like her legs didn't want to carry her anymore. At first, she blamed it on the cold weather. Then on getting older. But when she started holding onto the wall just to make it to the bathroom, she knew something deeper was happening. Her doctor ran some blood work. The result? Her vitamin D levels were nearly non-existent. You see, Margaret had spent most of the pandemic indoors. Her once daily morning walks had stopped. Her time in the garden was replaced with long hours reading indoors. And just like that, her body quietly ran low on one of the most powerful, muscle-supporting nutrients there is, vitamin D3. And here's what most people don't realize. Vitamin D3 isn't just for your bones. Yes, it helps with calcium absorption. Yes, it keeps your skeleton strong. But that's only the beginning. Vitamin D3 is actually critical for your muscles to function properly. It supports the connection between your nerves and your muscles, so that when your brain says, move, your legs listen. Without it, that connection weakens. You feel slower, less steady. You might even notice your legs shaking when you stand, or that it takes more effort to do everyday things like rise from bed, step into the bathtub, or lift your grocery bag. And here's something even more important. Low vitamin D has been directly linked to falls in older adults. Yes, falls. That terrifying moment when your body gives out without warning. Many times, it's not just bad luck or uneven pavement. It's a subtle deficiency that's been chipping away at your strength without you even realizing it. Now here's the tricky part. Most seniors don't know they're deficient. Why? Because the symptoms sneak in slowly. A little weakness here. A little hesitation there. And before you know it, you've adapted to feeling tired and unstable, thinking it's just part of aging. But it doesn't have to be that way. Let's talk about what you can do. First, a little sun goes a long way. Vitamin D3 is called the sunshine vitamin because your skin makes it naturally when exposed to sunlight. Just 15 minutes a day, even sitting on the porch with your sleeves rolled up, can help your body replenish its D3 levels. But if you live in a colder climate, or you're mostly indoors, or you have darker skin that absorbs less UV, then food becomes even more important. Try adding more egg yolks, fatty fish like salmon or mackerel, and fortified cereals to your diet. Even a glass of fortified orange juice in the morning can make a difference. And here's a powerful tip: ask your doctor for a simple vitamin D test during your next checkup. It's a basic blood test, but it tells you exactly where you stand. Because when you know, you can take action. That's what Margaret did. She started with small changes: 15 minutes of sunshine on her patio, 3 times a week. She added more salmon to her dinner menu, switched her morning cereal to a fortified brand, and began taking a low-dose D3 supplement with her doctor's approval. And slowly, she started to feel it. The heaviness in her legs lightened. Her balance improved. And she started walking again, this time not out of habit, but out of joy. She even returned to teaching part-time, reading to children at the local library, on her feet, strong and steady. Now, we've talked about magnesium. And we've talked about D3. Both are powerful on their own, but here's the surprise: there's another vitamin, one that not only complements both of these nutrients, but helps your body absorb and use them more effectively. This next vitamin plays a direct role in stopping nerve pain, restoring leg strength, and keeping your body moving like it remembers how to feel young again. Let me tell you about Eleanor. Eleanor is 74. Widowed. A former seamstress with hands that once stitched wedding dresses and school uniforms with the gentlest touch. She's always been sharp, organized, and fiercely independent. But lately, something strange had been happening. It started as a slight tingling in her toes. Just a little buzz, like her foot had fallen asleep. She'd wiggle it and shake it out, thinking it would pass. Then came the numbness. A strange, creeping dullness that moved up from her feet to her ankles. And soon after, the cramps began. The kind that felt deep in her calves. Not just painful, but unnerving. She told her doctor, who first assumed it was poor circulation or just wear and tear from aging. But Eleanor wasn't convinced. She knew her body. She could feel that something was off, something that wasn't just old age. So, after a few more tests, they found the culprit. Her vitamin B12 levels were almost non-existent. And here's the thing: Eleanor wasn't vegan. She wasn't skipping meals. She ate well, had eggs for breakfast, chicken for dinner, and even the occasional liver dish she'd made since she was young. But still, her body wasn't absorbing the B12 it needed. And once she started on weekly B12 shots, something amazing happened. Within just a few weeks, that buzzing in her feet began to fade. The numbness started lifting. And those deep, stubborn cramps she once dreaded, eased. It felt like someone had turned the lights back on in her legs. Now let's talk about why. Vitamin B12 isn't just another letter in the alphabet soup of health advice. It's your body's nerve protector, your internal electrician. B12 keeps your nerve fibers healthy and strong. It supports your brain's ability to send messages down the spinal cord, out to your legs, your feet, your muscles. It's what helps your legs know when and how to move. Without it, those messages get distorted, or lost completely. You might feel tingling, burning, weakness, even sharp stabbing pain. Some describe it like ants crawling under their skin. Others say it feels like walking on cotton. B12 also plays a big role in getting oxygen to your muscles. And without oxygen, your legs feel tired, heavy, and weak. So why are so many older adults low in B12? Well, here's the catch: your stomach plays a key role in B12 absorption. As you age, your stomach produces less of a substance called intrinsic factor, and without that, your body can't pull B12 from the foods you eat. That means even if you're eating steak, eggs, or fish regularly, you might still be deficient. It's not your fault. It's just how the body changes with time. And here's a misconception I hear all the time. Isn't B12 deficiency just a vegan problem? Not at all. Yes, people who avoid animal products are more likely to run low. But many seniors who eat meat daily still struggle, because their bodies can't absorb B12 the way they used to. So, what can you do? Start by adding more B12-rich foods if your digestion still handles them well: beef liver, salmon and tuna, eggs and dairy. Fortified cereals if you prefer plant-based options, but if you suspect you're low, or if you're experiencing tingling, numbness, or unexplained leg fatigue, talk to your doctor about getting your B12 levels checked. It's a simple blood test. And if your body struggles to absorb B12 through food, sublingual B12 tablets, that dissolve under the tongue, are often better absorbed than pills. And in some cases, B12 injections might be recommended. They go straight into the bloodstream, bypassing the gut completely. That's what worked for Eleanor. She still takes her weekly shots. She still reads the newspaper each morning while sitting near the window, legs uncrossed, pain-free. And she's back to sewing again, not dresses this time, but soft blankets for her grandchildren. Now, we've covered magnesium, the muscle relaxer. We've covered D3, the strength activator. And now B12, the nerve healer. But there's one more element you need to hear about. Because none of these work well if your body's electrolytes are off balance. And there's one mineral, in particular, that's responsible for keeping your muscles hydrated, your nerves firing smoothly, and your heart rhythm steady. Low levels of this can lead to the most painful leg cramps of all, especially in the middle of the night. Let's talk about James. James is 74, a retired mechanic, proud grandfather of 5, and a man who's always believed in eating clean. He's one of those old school types, used to fix his own car, mow his own lawn, even helped build the deck on his daughter's house last summer. But about 6 months ago, James decided to try something new. He switched to a low-carb diet. Said he was tired of feeling sluggish and wanted to drop a few pounds. So out went the fruits, the potatoes, the beans. And at first, he felt great. But then, the cramps started. First it was a mild one in his thigh after standing too long. Then came the sharp, sudden spasms at night, waking him out of sleep, breathless from the pain. He even had a scary moment while stepping off a curb when his calf locked up so badly, he nearly fell face first onto the pavement. He thought maybe he wasn't drinking enough water. Maybe it was his age. But his doctor saw something different. He asked James about his diet. Then he checked James's blood work, and just like that, the answer was clear: low potassium. You see, when James cut carbs, he accidentally cut out many of the foods that kept his potassium levels steady. And his body, already a little more sensitive with age, didn't have enough of a cushion to fall back on. So, his muscles started to speak up, in the worst way possible. Here's what you need to understand. Potassium isn't just some nice-to-have mineral. It's your body's electrolyte warrior. Quietly working behind the scenes, keeping everything balanced. It helps regulate the fluids in your body, so your cells don't swell or dry out. It keeps your muscles contracting and relaxing smoothly, so every time you move your legs, there's coordination, not chaos. And most importantly, it keeps your nerves and heart firing properly. Every signal, every reflex, every steady beat, relies on potassium doing its job. When your potassium is low, even just slightly, you might start to feel leg cramps, especially at night. Muscle weakness or shakiness. Irregular heartbeat. Fatigue you can't explain. Even a general sense of unwellness you can't quite put your finger on. And here's what makes this even trickier for older adults: many common blood pressure medications, especially diuretics, or water pills, cause your body to flush out potassium. You're drinking your water. You're taking your meds. But quietly, without warning, your potassium reserves are being drained. Now let's clear up a big myth. Most people hear potassium and think one thing: bananas. Bananas are great, sure, but they're not the only game in town. In fact, spinach, sweet potatoes, white beans, avocados, and even cooked beets have more potassium per serving than a banana. And you don't need to eat mountains of it all at once. Adding just 1 or 2 potassium-rich foods to your daily meals can gently raise your levels, and keep the cramps and weakness at bay. But there's something you do have to be careful about: balance. Potassium and sodium are like two sides of a seesaw. Too much salt and not enough potassium. Cramps, pressure, and fluid retention. Too much potassium without proper kidney function. That can cause problems too. So, if you're on medications, or if you've had any kidney issues, always speak with your doctor before making major changes. They may recommend a safe range for potassium, and even suggest blood work to track it. Now, back to James. After adding more potassium back into his meals, just a handful of spinach in his morning omelette, some avocado at lunch, and a few white beans at dinner, his nighttime cramps faded. He started sleeping through the night again. And best of all, he got his confidence back. Said he felt grounded again, like his legs were finally his own. Potassium didn't just help with his cramps. It gave him back his rhythm, his steadiness, his calm. Now, think about everything we've uncovered so far. Magnesium, for muscle relaxation. Vitamin D3, for muscle strength and balance. Vitamin B12, to support nerves and energy. Potassium, to regulate and protect it all. These 4 form the foundation of healthy legs and confident movement in your golden years. But there's still one more. One more vitamin that often gets ignored, brushed aside because it doesn't sound as urgent or glamorous. Yet without it, your circulation suffers. Your cells face more damage. And your muscles don't get the oxygen and nutrients they need to stay strong and vibrant. Let me tell you about Linda. She's 70, a retired librarian with a soft voice and the kind of smile that instantly puts you at ease. But for years, Linda had a problem she didn't talk much about. Her legs felt heavy, like she was carrying bags of wet sand every time she stood up. Even a trip to the mailbox would leave her needing to sit down. The ache in her calves wouldn't go away. Her ankles would sometimes swell. And no matter how much water she drank or how much she stretched, nothing changed. Her doctor ran tests. Heart was fine. Blood pressure, normal. But one blood result caught his attention: vitamin E deficiency. Now, Linda was surprised. Vitamin E? Isn't that for skin and hair? She asked. That's a common belief. And it's only partly true. Because what Linda, and many others, don't realize is this. Vitamin E is one of your body's most powerful circulation boosters. Especially as you age, when your blood vessels aren't quite as elastic, and your cells aren't as efficient at clearing waste, vitamin E becomes even more important. Here's why. Vitamin E improves blood flow by keeping your blood from becoming too thick or sticky. It helps your vessels relax and widen, so oxygen-rich blood can reach your muscles more easily, especially your legs and feet. It also reduces inflammation. One of the biggest culprits behind aching, tired limbs. And maybe most importantly, vitamin E is a potent antioxidant. It protects your cells from oxidative stress, tiny bits of wear and tear that build up over time, especially in active tissues like muscles. When those protective barriers are down, you don't just feel tired. You feel weak, unstable, or even in pain. Linda started making some changes. She added sunflower seeds to her morning yogurt. Drizzled olive oil over her roasted vegetables. Snacked on a few almonds instead of processed crackers. Nothing extreme. No pricey supplements. Just a simple, thoughtful shift toward foods rich in vitamin E. And you know what happened? Over the next several weeks, her legs didn't feel like anchors anymore. The swelling eased. Her afternoon walks around the garden felt lighter, smoother, and more natural. She said it best herself, it feels like the blood is actually getting down there again. Now, one important note. Vitamin E supplements can be powerful, but they're not for everyone. If you take blood thinners or certain medications, high-dose vitamin E can increase the risk of bleeding. That's why food first is always safest, unless your doctor tells you otherwise. So, keep it gentle. Keep it steady. And trust the process. With just a handful of almonds, a little spinach, or a drizzle of olive oil, you're not just adding flavor to your meals, you're fueling the flow that keeps your legs alive and moving. And when you step back and look at all of this, everything we've explored so far, it's more than a list of vitamins. It's a blueprint. Magnesium calms and steadies your muscles. Vitamin D3 lights them up with strength. B12 connects your nerves and breathes life into every step. Potassium brings balance and resilience. And vitamin E? It delivers the flow. The spark. The healing. But here's the thing, these aren't just facts for your memory. They're gifts for your future. Leg pain and weakness might seem like small problems, until they stop you from dancing at your granddaughter's wedding. Until you're standing at the edge of your driveway, looking at the mailbox like it's a mile away. Until the simple act of standing up to hug someone you love becomes a struggle. For many older adults, that moment, when the legs no longer respond the way they used to, feels like a silent loss. Not just of strength, but of freedom, of connection, of dignity. And it sneaks in slowly. First it's a cramp. Then stiffness. Then the cane. Then the chair that becomes more comfortable than life outside of it. But what if I told you this, you are not powerless? Because this isn't about just getting old. It's your body sending signals. Not to scare you. Not to punish you. But to ask, very clearly, for support. For nourishment. For care. And now, you know how to answer. You've seen the path. Magnesium, to ease the cramps and help your muscles relax and move with grace. Vitamin D3, to bring back the light of strength and bone integrity. Vitamin B12, to reconnect your nerves and recharge your blood. Potassium, to restore balance and reduce sudden nighttime jolts of pain. And vitamin E, to keep your circulation flowing like a calm, steady river. Each one is a building block, supporting your body in the places where it matters most. So, I ask you this, tonight, take 10 minutes. Open your pantry. Look at your meals. Ask yourself, am I feeding my strength, or starving it? Could you add a handful of almonds instead of that salty snack? Could you swap a sugary drink for a banana smoothie or a slice of avocado toast? Could you talk to your doctor about checking your B12 or D3 levels? Because sometimes, just one small change starts the climb back to energy, stability, and joy. Your body still remembers how to feel strong. Yes, even after the surgeries. Even after the quiet years sitting still. Even after the fear that maybe, this is just how it is now. It's not. With the right care and consistency, your muscles can learn again. Your balance can improve. Your legs can move with less fear, more freedom, and yes, even joy. You deserve that. Every step you take from here can lead you not just to better health, but to a fuller life. Let's go over the essentials, one more time. Magnesium, for muscle relaxation and cramp prevention. Vitamin D3, to strengthen bones and improve leg coordination. Vitamin B12, to restore nerve function and fight tingling or numbness. Potassium, to balance electrolytes and prevent painful spasms. Vitamin E, to support circulation and reduce inflammation in aging limbs. These 5 nutrients work like a team, each supporting the others. And the beauty is, you don't need to overhaul your life. You just need to start, with one step. One adjustment. One meal. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these vitamins are already part of your daily routine? Which one surprised you the most? Do you have a story, like Margaret's or James's, that others might learn from? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one, and your words just might encourage someone else who's struggling. And if this video helped you, or made you think of someone you care about, please subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide. This channel is built for you. For your well-being. For your future. For those quiet questions you may not ask out loud, but still need answers to. Thank you for being here. Whether you're 60, 70, or well into your 80s, remember this, you are not fading. You are learning. And you still have time to feel stronger, steadier, and more confident in your own body again. Until next time, stay wise. Stay well. And I'll see you in the next video.